Well, Mosaic is a community choir. We have people from all walks of life with one thing in common, that we all really love to sing.
There's just so much camaraderie and friendship and laughter. In fact, whether we sing or not, it's almost beside the point, but we do. And the song choices are wonderful.
It's very hard to feel down when you're singing.
I think it's one of the most wonderful things that we have done, especially being able to do it as a husband and wife.
I always look forward to those Tuesday evenings when I can come down and can sing.
And then we could meet lots of friendly people here.
Being part of Mosaic Choir, it's just sharing with other people that love to sing, and it's being able to give to the community.
It's worth coming out. It's a couple of hours of really good enjoyment, and you come away from it on a high thinking, I've really enjoyed this evening.
I love all the mix of songs, just incredible.
Our group is an un-auditioned choir, which means that anyone can come.
You don't need to be a musician per se. You can come along and sing and enjoy and without audition.
Well, belonging to Mosaic Choir for me was kind of like a way of getting into music without feeling like self-conscious of my skill or anything.
Before COVID, we would meet weekly and rehearse for 2 hours on a Tuesday evening. As COVID was hitting, we were having conversations in the committee about what this means for our group. We're really aware that members of our community were going to be affected by being high-risk people. We all love being in a choir, but of course, that means standing in the same room and singing together. And when we have this virus that is communicable, we can't do that anymore. And so it was a strange question to go, what can we look like if we can no longer be a community choir? What can we be? And the thing that came back to me was the fact we can still be a community.
The hardest part of being in lockdown was not seeing my family.
We definitely missed the socializing part of the life.
I did miss a lot of family.
I just found it so stressful to listen to stories, people we know quite well who did have people dying.
And all of a sudden, there we were told to be at home. And for myself, that was a bubble of one. It was quite a struggle. The days were incredibly long.
The hardest part of lockdown was most likely to talk to my mum overseas. My mum lives in Holland and she's in a home and she's got Alzheimer's.
During the lockdown, we had a third grandchild born. And it was really quite upsetting because we couldn't get to see our little boy.
When COVID came, I was classed as an essential worker. I work as an occupational therapist at the hospital. And it was a bit nerve-wracking, to be honest. As it turned out, things were managed so well and the hospital was emptied out and it was actually very quiet, which we were very relieved about.
On the other hand, there were many pluses. It was lovely to cycle down the street without having a lot of cars. It was almost eerie to drive around town when there was nobody in the main street at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning.
During lockdown, right, well, I did a lot of crafts. So yeah, kept me busy being in my little bubble of one.
Yeah, so it just felt like the planet was having a bit of a breather as well.
Because it was autumn, lots of things were coming into fruit, and so I had feijoas by the mile.
Took myself off for endless walks and bike rides and watched Dr. Ashley at 1 o'clock every day, which was part of my life.
And I think what lockdown did was, because it stopped everything dead in its tracks, it gave everybody the chance to stop, sit down, smell the roses.
During lockdown, the best thing that ever happened was having the Zoom evenings on a Tuesday night.
Meeting on a Tuesday on Zoom with the Mosaic Choir was really great.
It's so wonderful to see the familiar faces and know that you still belong to that choir and your friends are all out there.
We picked up a couple of new skills during lockdown. Our poodle was due for grooming and he was getting very woolly, so we had to get some grooming equipment and learn how to use it.
I have actually learnt one very important skill in the lockdown, which is how to feed myself.
Every Saturday night I had to cook something, not of my free will. But yes, it It did. My cooking skills did come along. So
It did.
I
You
can,
made a beautiful butter chicken, didn't you?
Yeah, I can burn things.
You
That's-
can,
yeah.
yes.
We've been amazed at how much technical skills we've learnt because prior to this, I'd never heard about Zoom.
I think our Prime Minister is a very unusual politician in that she's a human being first. And the country recognised it and got behind her. And wasn't that marvellous, and haven't we reaped the benefit of that?
So coming through COVID, I feel like we are stronger. We've got this shared experience, which is really different for all of us, but it's uniting. We've made it through, and it's exciting to think about the future. So it's been beautiful writing songs with our members so that we have unique stories to tell with music for our community.